All right, so good morning. I wanted to make a short video on form when it comes to squats and chair pose in yoga. So a lot of people make the mistake of having their knees going forward. So yes, we are bending the legs, but we're going back. So I'm gonna tuck my shirt under again so that you can really see what's happening. So always engaging the abs every time in any workout, whatever you do, whether you're lunging, whether you're squatting, anything, balancing, the core, everything is going to happen from this area. And the core is not just the abs, it's also your lower back, it's your hamstrings, the hip flexors, all that is the core. So if we don't work it, when we get old, it's gonna, it's not gonna help us, because if we trip, we'll just fall flat. So the goal is to stay strong and stay like standing strong like a tree, right? So when you squat, think about almost wiggling your toes, pressing through the heels, your abs are nice and tight, you're not arching. And then when you go down, you're pressing your butt back, like you have an imaginary chair behind you, or you're trying to reach back. Your knees should not pass the toes. If you start going like this and pressing through your toes because you're losing balance, reshift your weight. And you can actually practice that in front of a mirror when you do yoga or anything. That way it can maybe help you with the balance, with the form. So you press through the heels, toes facing forward, abs in, engaged to where you're not arching. And then if you're just a beginner, you don't have to go low. You can just stay here and engage in your quads, your glutes, everything, and then your abs. And then eventually, when you get stronger, you'll be able to go all the way down without having your knees passing your toes. So this is for the squat. So same thing when you do a chair in yoga. You're gonna go down, you're gonna squeeze your inner thighs together. And of course, during class, I'm always gonna talk about form again and to make sure you're doing it right, but you always round and bring your shoulders back and down, whether you have your hands on your hips or your arms up. You want your butt back and you're squeezing your inner thighs together, and really you're gonna feel that heat come in like right away. So same thing for that. Same concept when it comes to lunges and like warriors or crescent pose, which is the same move as we do in any other workout, really, when you think of it. When you lunge back, like that's pretty much what we do in yoga. We just don't use any weights. So every time you lunge back, even if you have a slight bend in the back here because you don't have the hip flexor flexibility yet, you can keep the slight bend, but you want to make sure that this knee doesn't go forward. And again, I'm gonna repeat that over and over during classes, but the goal is to press through that front heel and then go down as much as you can. You always keep your abs nice and tight so that you're long, your back is straight, and then your shoulders are aligned with the hips. It always has to do with alignment. So you're here, let's say you're in warrior 2, same thing, I'm losing my balance. Even if you're sideways now, you're opening up those hips. That leg is nice and straight if possible. If you need a slight bend, but never, lose it. Lose the cage, like they say. You're up, your abs are strong, your back is strong, and this knee doesn't go over. Sometimes you may need to have like a chair at first near you so that you can hold for your balance. But if you find yourself pressing, I see people do that. They press through the toes, and then they sometimes even lift the heel. Next thing you know, the knee, there's absolutely no support for this knee, and that's when we get injured. So if you think that you cannot do yoga because you have knee issue, it's not the yoga that creates the issue or that you cannot do it. It's because you have no muscles around, either here or on your calf, to keep that knee nice and stable. So in order to do that, you can, start working out with us here and then get that strength around the joints so that you can stay nice and stable. Same thing for the hips. So that's that. I think that's about it. Squats and lunges, like always think keeping the knee over the ankle and not having the knee passing the toes. If you can remember that when you're doing any move, you'll be doing fine. So I hope this helps. And again, in the comments, if you have any questions or if you have any previous injuries or anything like that that you want to ask me about, like, let me know. And you can even send me a message privately and I will make sure to answer. And so you may see my friend here, Peanut, come here on the class every now and then. But anyway, have a wonderful day, and I hope those tips helped you, and I will see you tomorrow.